Listen, this is not polite talk. This is not dating advice wrapped in sugar. This is raw street truth. The kind of truth men learn late, after they've burned years, money, focus, and pride chasing a feeling that started below the waist and hijacked the brain. If your body reacts before your mind locks in, you're not leading anything. You're being led. And the moment that happens, ownership begins. A man controlled by impulse is a man without leverage. And sexual impulse is the strongest leash ever invented. It doesn't need chains. It doesn't need threats. All it needs is a visual, a scent, a tone, a suggestion. Then boom, judgment gone, strategy gone, standards gone. And once that switch flips, the game is no longer played on your terms. This is where most men fuck themselves without realizing it. They think arousal is harmless. They think it's natural, so it must be safe. Wrong. Natural doesn't mean useful. Fire is natural too. You don't stick your hand in it and hope for the best. You learn to control it, or it burns everything you built. The moment your body reacts first, you've already told the world where your weakness lives. And women, consciously or not, sense it immediately. They don't need you to say a word. Your eyes change. Your breathing changes. Your posture shifts. Your timing slips. You lean forward instead of standing grounded. That's a tell. And once a tell exists, tests follow. The first test is exposure. A little more skin. A little closer proximity. A little more sexual energy in the air. Not to give you anything, but to see how you behave. Do you stay calm? Or do you start acting hungry? Hungry men are predictable. Predictable men are easy to move. When the body leads, the mouth follows. You start talking too much. You overshare. You compliment unnecessarily. You reveal intent too early. You give away power trying to secure access. That's ownership in real time. You think you're chasing pleasure. What you're actually doing is trading authority for a dopamine hit. Here's the dirty part nobody wants to say out loud. Once a woman knows your arousal overrides your discipline, she doesn't need to give you anything to control you. She can withhold, delay, tease, withdraw, and you'll fill the gap yourself with effort, attention, validation, and resources. You become the engine that keeps the dynamic alive while she sits back and observes that that's the first trap. Sexual stimulation without reward. It trains you to chase. Every message unanswered. Every flirt without follow-through. Every hot-cold move tightens the leash. And because your body wants resolution, your brain starts justifying bad decisions. You lower standards. You accept disrespect. You rationalize inconsistency. All because you want the tension to end. Wolf men don't rush to end tension. They sit in it. They control it. They decide when and if it's worth releasing. Another trap follows fast. Fantasy inflation. When your body reacts first, your imagination fills in the rest. You start projecting qualities that haven't been earned. You imagine depth, loyalty, chemistry, connection. None of it real. Just chemicals and hope mixing into a story that makes you easier to manipulate. Once fantasy takes over, reality loses. And when reality finally shows up flaws, inconsistency, manipulation, you ignore it. Because the body doesn't want to let go of the promise it tasted early. Then comes the compliance test. She asks for favors, time, emotional labor, availability, not directly, subtly. And if you comply because you're aroused, you've just taught her your price. Cheap, predictable, easy to activate. Men get angry hearing this, but anger doesn't change physics. Arousal lowers resistance. Lower resistance invites influence. Influence becomes control. Another common trick is sexualized respect removal. She flirts while disrespecting, jokes at your expense with a smile, pushes boundaries while staying attractive. If you let it slide because you're turned on, you've surrendered frame. From that moment on, she knows attraction beats your backbone. Strong men do the opposite. The second disrespect shows up, attraction shuts off. Instantly. No debate. No negociación. No explanaciones. That alone resets the dynamic that there's also the scarcity illusion. When arousal leads, you start believing this opportunity is rare, special, hard to replace. That belief makes you cling. Clinging kills power. Power comes from abundance, not necessarily of women, but of self-respect and purpose. Another trap, sexual urgency. You feel like you have to act now or lose the chance. That urgency isn't real. It's chemical, and chemicals lie. They don't care about your future. They care about immediate release. Wise men delay. Delay reveals truth. De les filtres intention. Delay exposes games. If she's real, delay strengthens attraction. If she's playing, delay scares her off. Either outcome benefits you. Here's where discipline turns tactical. You don't fight arousal. You redirect it. You don't suppress desire. You channel it into control. When your body reacts, you slow down. You shorten interactions. You reduce exposure. You don't escalate. You don't fantasize. You keep communication clean and minimal. That's how you flip the script. Instead of your body dragging your mind commands your body. Another trick shows up once she realizes sexual energy doesn't control you. Escalation pressure. She might push things faster to regain leverage. Physical closeness. Sexual talk. Temptation spikes. This is where most men fold. They think resistance means losing opportunity. In reality, resistance builds respect. A man who can say no without explanation is dangerous in the best way. It signals self-command, and self-command is rare. Let's get darker. Some women use sexual arousal to distract men from red flags. Inconsistency, lies, emotional instability, poor character. If your body reacts first, your brain goes blind. You stop analyzing behavior. You stop checking alignment. You ignore your instincts because your instincts are being hijacked. That's how men end up trapped in chaos they saw coming but chose to ignore. Wolf men don't ignore patterns. They don't let desire override observation. They watch behavior over time. They value consistency over chemistry. Another consequence of body-first behavior is loss of masculine polarity. When you chase release, you become reactive. You wait for signals. You adjust to moods. You seek approval. That flips roles. And once roles flip, respect erodes. Masculine energy is calm, slow, decisive. Feminine energy tests, probes, feels. When you let your body lead, you reverse that polarity. And reverse polarity creates dysfunction. So what's the counter strategy? Brutal simplicity. You train yourself to pause. Every time arousal hits, you do nothing. You don't text. You don't escalate. You don't fantasize. You breathe. You observe. You let the wave pass. Because it always does. You also stack your life. So sexual desire isn't the highlight of your existence. Purpose kills desperation. Work kills fixation. Discipline kills manipulation. Another key move, never negotiate desire. If she tries to bait you with sexual energy to get compliance, you disengage. Calmly. No anger. No explanation. Silence does more damage to manipulation than confrontation ever could. Over time, something shifts. Your body learns it doesn't run the house anymore. Your reaction's slow. Your presence deepens. And suddenly, the same women who used to control men with sexuality start treating you differently. With caution, with curiosity, with respect, because they feel the difference. They feel that you're not owned by impulse. This isn't about hating women. It's about mastering yourself. Men who master themselves don't get played. They choose. They lead. They walk away without shaking. If your body reacts first, you're already owned. But ownership isn't permanent unless you accept it. Discipline is the jailbreak. Awareness is the key. Control is the weapon. Burn this into your mind. Desire is a tool, not a master. Use it wrong, and it uses you. Use it right, and it sharpens you into something dangerous, calm, and untouchable. Stay sharp. Stay disciplined. That's how wolves move through a world built to distract weak men.